At this point, I should probably mention that the Chronicler is getting this all down in the span of a single day, despite the fact that the audiobook is almost as long as the entire Total Drama Compendium, so we can only speculate how he manages that one. During his time trying to woo the woman, he attends a snooty feast, as well as practices his loot skills, and even dabbles in poetry.
Wonderful. What is it called?
The Dead Fly.
How original. Let's hear it.
The dead fly does not fly, 'cause I swatted it.
Well, it's not Shakespeare, but it's got a certain something.
After all that, the mayor still has one last task for Hothead. Apart from that, what the mayor really wants Hothead to do is track down a group of bandits that have been hiding out in the woods and attacking his tax collectors, and he gives him an elite team of bounty hunters to help him on his quest. Among the mercenaries is Tempe, a warrior from a society with bizarre social norms. He teaches Hothead some of his people's martial arts. After a few days, Hothead's party gets bored of combing the whole forest, so they decide to just defoliate the entire area, destroying the bandits' cover as well as the entire ecosystem.
Isn't the word defoliant just another name for poison? We on the task force prefer to think of it as botanical bye-bye juice.
Seeing as the whole camp now sticks out like a wart on a shaved ball bag, Hothead proceeds to destroy it using the power of the Jerry Bruckheimer film logo. While camping, one of the mercenaries notices a... However, as they return, two of Tempe's friends arrest him for teaching the ways of karate to a barbarian such as Hothead. They plan on exiling Tempe, which means he's out of their people, and he can't come back, ever. Hothead decides to follow Tempe all the way back to his homeland to help him with his trial. Upon arriving, he is given an ultimatum. He must prove himself worthy of karate, or they will cut off his hands and eat them.
Well, I was hungry, and, well, you know, when you crave hands, that's...
Why on earth would you do that?
I was hungry for hands. Give me a break.
Carl!
My stomach was making the rumblies that only hands would satisfy.
In preparation for his exams, they give him a teacher as well as an elite sparring partner.
Look at you! Ow!
They have a long and grueling training montage as she teaches Hothead the many stupidly named attacks and combo moves of karate.
Slash attack, blades reach, shadow step, activate, umbral trespass, anime!
All the while, his two friends from earlier plot a daring mission to rescue Hothead where they storm the front gates.
Can I get a large number 1 extra size?
But you just ate 3 orders of fried oyster skins.
Fried oyster skins.
You got your nightstick ready? Fried oyster skins! Oh.
The day of Hothead's trial arrives. His first task is to retrieve a hay from a needle stack, or something similar, I forget. His next challenge is to face off against a series of elite swordsmen consecutively, with his final opponent being the most elite fighter of their order.
Are you ready to get your ass kicked?
Oh, hell no, Kung Fu Panda. You shouldn't have done that.
Get ready to feel the thunder!
Against all odds, Hothead emerges victorious. As a reward, he's allowed to leave with his newfound skills and is given a fancy new nickname.
From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait. Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha. Welcome, brother Sharkbait. Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha. Enough of the Sharkbait. Sharkbait, ooh.
Before he can accept his award, his two friends who came to break him out show up, embarrass him in front of everyone, and force him to leave while being chased out. But not before he manages to steal a cool sword from this one person who was antagonizing him the whole time he was there.
My face! My face! My face!
After finishing his latest filler arc, Hothead finally begins his trek back to the mayor for his reward. Along the way, he encounters a group of performers who are apparently from the same culture he grew up in. All goes well until he finds 2 girls who are tied up in the back of one of the wagons, without a safe word. For violating the most sacred rule of BDSM, Hothead proceeds to slaughter the impersonators, like animals, and not just the men, but the women and the children as well. but not before hitting them with roofies he pulled out of his ass to be a good sport.
What's wrong with Blip? Somebody put something in my pudding. And the machine, you put something in the pudding.
Hothead returns the girls to their village, where Farm Boy says something admittedly rude, and Hothead, too incompetent to argue with him, potentially cripples him for life and threatens to murder him in front of his friends and family if he doesn't apologize. Hothead then finally returns to the mayor, who offers him his reward for dealing with the bandits. Hothead, however, despite his flaws, has grown beyond such petty desires since they last met.
Yarn, SpongeBob! I don't want your money! I need cock and ball torture!
They also discuss the secret society Hothead was looking for earlier and realize they must be erasing records of their existence along the way. They also share other various theories they have about the world and the government. Upon returning to the university after 9 months, he learns that most of everyone thought that he was dead and that the legend of Hothead has traveled across the world at this point. With his newfound wealth from his sole invention from earlier and the mayor, he quits working to better study and contemplate naming.
H? We're gonna go far with a phrase like age. Come on!
Fine! Sheesh! Keep it together, man! Come on, kids, we're leaving.
He returns to the city from Book 1, where he saves Denny's from an asthma attack, and she finally confesses her undying love for him. We then cut back to the present day, where armed crooks are attempting to rob the inn.
Everybody freeze! This is a robbery! Show yourself!
Yes, you can open the me cash register over me cold, lifeless shell.
Nobody wants your stupid money. Hand over the Slabby Patty secret sauce recipe, and nobody gets vaporized!
Hothead tries to use karate to fight them off, but because he's so out of shape, he has to rely on his stand yet again in order to protect the secret formula. With the bad guys defeated for now, the three of them finally call it a day and go to bed to count sheep. The final book of Hiatus X Hiatus is set to be released alongside Half-Life 3, The Winds of Winter, Beyond Good and Evil 2, and Pantheon Stalking Season 2. And as we all know, being stuck in development hell is always a wonderful sign.
The end.